Hi, I'm Tyson Franklin, and welcome to this week's mini episode of It's No Secret Dr. T. Today, I want to talk about what type of business do you want. But before I get there, we're going to give a shout out to Letitia M. Moran, who left a review on iTunes, put a big smile on my face. And what she wrote was, I thoroughly enjoy listening to Tyson's conversational style podcast. Even though this one isn't a conversational one, this is my mini episode. She went on to say, I have listened to them from day one as they are always interesting and fun. The guest topics are always diverse, delivering useful information and tips for any business owner. So Letitia, thank you very much for giving me that review on iTunes. And I do know Letitia. Letitia is a graphic artist and she's done all my logos for everything that I've done over the last few years. So if you're looking for a graphic artist, there you go. Look up Letitia M. Moran. And that's the benefits of doing reviews. You do a review and I will give you a shout out. So let's get on with the episode. What type of business do you want? And when I say type of business, I'm not talking about deciding if you're going to open up a coffee shop or a bakery or a scuba diving shop. What I'm talking about is how are you planning to set your business apart from your competitors? So I'm assuming you already have a business or you've got an idea of the type of business you're going to open. So will you provide the fastest service in town? Have the most advanced technology, have more locations and therefore be more accessible and convenient, have longer trading hours. Are you prepared to start earlier and finish later? Have the largest range, provide the highest quality, have the best trained team, or are you going to aim for the cheapest prices? Knowing the answers to these questions will, one, help you set your prices and fees, and two, have a direct influence on the type of clients and patients you will attract to your business through your marketing campaigns. So for simplicity, I'm going to stick with using a coffee shop as my example because it's a very competitive, busy market, and I know everybody has their favorite coffee shop they like to meet at. And when you look at coffee shops, it's obvious that some are highly successful and others are not so successful. And have you ever stopped to consider why? Of course, location will play a huge part, but if a coffee shop is in a great location but makes crappy coffee, it's not going to last very long. So convenience will only go so far. So let's take a little bit of a closer look. Most successful independent coffee shops either roast their own coffee beans and they do it their way, or they source their coffee beans from a particular coffee roaster for exactly the same reason. There's something about them that they really, really like. They don't just use the cheapest or the most convenient coffee supplier, which is important if they have competitors close by or they're competing against successful franchise businesses. They may also source and offer a wide selection of high-end coffees from various parts of the world. That's what sets them apart. So by being selective in their coffee bean suppliers and coffee roasting techniques, it makes their coffee quite distinct from their competitors. This uniqueness sets them apart and allows them to set their prices slightly higher. And therefore, this will have an influence over both the clientele they attract and also the quality of the team that they put together. If you're looking for a cheap cup of coffee, not really bothered where the coffee beans come from, the taste isn't really a priority, this is probably not going to be the coffee shop for you. But if you're a true lover of coffee and you care about how it tastes, and you want variety from around the world, and you want to experience new coffees, then this is definitely going to be the coffee shop you're going to go to. If you are opening a restaurant, a bookkeeping business, or any sort of retail outlet, or even a podiatry business, the same principles apply again and again. Knowing the type of business you want will, one, set you apart from your competitors, two, determine your prices and fees, and three, dictate the type of clients and patients you will attract. Just keep those three things in mind. In the end, these three things will determine how much enjoyment you get from your work each day because you get to choose what your business will and will not do. For example, a coffee shop can choose to serve pre-made cakes, tarts and wraps, or it could decide to have an on-site kitchen and serve light meals. Once again, it comes down to the type of business the owner wants to have and how far they want to separate their business from their coffee competitors close by. Can you charge more by offering additional services or products in your business? And will having additional services and products attract the type of clients and patients you really want in your business? Is your business aiming for quantity or is it aiming for quality? That's an important question. And it's a huge determining factor when you're thinking about the type of business you want. There's a really cool quote by William A. Foster, and it goes like this: quality is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. I think that is an amazing quote and really sums up what we're talking about today. Because to have a financially successful business, you need to focus your efforts into the areas of your business, one, that you enjoy the most, and the areas that have the highest profit margin or high dollar value per hour. It's really that simple. Now, don't get me wrong. Every business owner can make good money by fulfilling basic requirements of their chosen professional trade, which is what most do. They do the bare minimum. But if you're not fulfilled with your daily routine and you want a pay rise, you need to focus your efforts into the areas of your business with the best returns and most enjoyment. This doesn't mean you'll never do anything again in your business you don't like doing. It's more about getting the ratio right between what you like to do and what you don't like to do. It's also important to identify and stop the activities you should not be doing, especially if you also don't like them. If you're working all week doing work you despise, it's going to be a long and uninspiring week, regardless of how much money you make. But if you can limit your exposure to what you don't like, it will make your week far more enjoyable. For example, when I had my podiatry business, there were things I did not like doing. But before I applied this principle about getting the ratio right, I did everything because I knew no better. I just thought that's what you had to do. Eventually, I got to the point where I wanted to leave the profession, but a strange thing happened. When I limited my exposure to the things I didn't like to do and focused my efforts on the parts of the business I did like, three things happened. One, work became more fun. The second thing, I made more money. And the third thing, and this is really funny, I had more time off. So I was having more fun, making more money, and I was having more time off. So it's worth focusing on those things. And when I did have to do things that I didn't really like doing, they didn't seem to be so bad after all. And doing them on the occasional basis was actually enjoyable. It's funny how our mind works. I would love to take full credit for coming up with this realization about work ratios. However, I first came across this idea, or an idea very similar to it, after attending a weekend seminar on how to have a more profitable business. After I attended this weekend seminar, my thinking completely changed, and so did my business. Within 3 months of attending this weekend seminar, my business turnover doubled, and I never looked back. And this is why I can't stress enough the importance of constantly educating yourself and why it's important to look outside of your own profession. This particular event that I went to, I actually talk about it a bit more on a previous episode that was titled Adding a Zero to Your Financial Goals, which there will be a link in the show notes. So I can't place enough emphasis on attending events, and this is why I also run my own events, because I know how much they can help other business people. So look, if you want more information about some of the events I run, just go to my website, tysonfranklin.com, click on events, have a look at what I've got lined up. There may be some there at the moment, there may not, but keep coming back and just have a look. There may be something there that will interest you. And I know I do have a special guest coming all the way over from Germany on the 31st of August next year. So just keep an eye out for that one. Let's get back to it. You may find it hard to believe that one weekend seminar made such a difference to my life. But that's all it takes. Unfortunately, you don't know which weekend seminar it's going to be. There's a saying that when a student is ready, the teacher will come. And this applies to everyone. Now, I've spent a small fortune on self-education and development over the past 30 years. And I will continue to do so because I understand the value that I personally receive. If you're about to open your own business, now is the perfect time to start asking yourself, what type of business do I want? There's no right or wrong answer. You just need to decide, become focused on what it is that you want, and then commit to it 100%. And if you've been in business for a number of years and you're feeling a little bit trapped in what you've created, as I did, don't despair. Just start making small changes now, and over time, you will see the benefits. The tip is to start small. Don't try and change everything about your business all at once. Otherwise, you will create overwhelm for you and your team. Now, I've done this before as well, and it doesn't take long before you go back to the way you used to do things when things start to get too hard. So just like exercise, you won't see much change in the first few weeks, but over a period of time, the changes will become evident. You just have to give it time. And just like going to the gym, if you quit after 4 weeks, you got nothing out of it. So the idea is just don't quit. Make the small changes and just keep moving forward. So if you have any questions about this particular episode or about the idea of what type of business do you actually want? Please send me an email, tf@tysonfranklin.com. Go to my website, tysonfranklin.com. Look at events if that's what if you're thinking that, okay, what sort of events has Tyson got coming up next year? And also, if you're enjoying this show, please tell your friends and family. As I always say, it does put a big smile on my face when I know people are listening to this show. And if you really like it, I would love a review. And if you give us a review, send me an email as well and say, hey, I did a review and this is the sort of business I have, and I will give you a shout out. So that's it from me. Look after yourself, look after your family, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.